Hey everybody, we're getting ready. We're setting up the main camera here. We're stitching out on a tea towel, which is what we're going to do today. And we'll be there in 1 second. Let me rethread the machine.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Robin. And Bonnie.
Bonnie. Okay, that's up and running. All right, did you switch to you? Wait a second, let me stop.
You can switch when you come sit down.
All right, let me get in here. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Make It Monday. Woo, got a lot of people popping on. I think the text message over to remind them when we're here. Please come see us. All right, and please, if you wouldn't mind sprinkling this video out into the universe. Yeah, we can't say that word. Facebook doesn't allow us to say that word. So that's why we say sprinkle, because
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Get it out there. So we have some good information. Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. Hi, Susan. I don't know where I was. I was in North Carolina. I know that much. I was at the Shelton Winery. Around Mount Airy, we saw Aunt B and Barney and Opie and Andy. I love North Carolina and I love those Cherokee Mountains. I could be there in a heartbeat, but I wouldn't want to give up my beach house first, which I don't have a beach house, but we're working on it. All right, Jims, what are we doing today?
Embroidering on towels.
Embroidering on towels, right. So we have, and now these designs are copyrighted because they belong to someone else, right? So I do have a file to share with you guys later. So we're going to talk about doing regular cotton tea towels. We use Dunroven here because we really like the quality. So this is just like a flat, almost like a flour sack, right? This one has, and you can't, I tried to find this design. I did this. You're welcome to copy it if you have software, but it's just pretty much how I feel about a lot of things. It's like, hold this up to your face. Does it smell funny? And then this is the one that Lori did. The snowman is from OESD. So if you go to amybachman.com, you can, there's a link at the very bottom to go to OESD to shop. And I think she added the words. I don't think the words were attached to that. So some towels have little tassels on the bottom, which is one we're embroidering now. And then these are just some plain, we have a lot of tea towels here. Yeah. And then we also do the tea towel of the month, right? At Amy Sews, where every month we send you an applique, tea towel, straight up applique, like old school applique. You can cut it with your Cricut or your Scan and Cut or whatever, or just by hand. But we're changing the game in January. You're going to get a digitized design. So for those of you who like to embroider, you can embroider the towel. And those of you who don't have embroidery, you're just going to continue and do your thing. It's traditional applique. So it's going to happen in January. The Tea Towel Club is open. Just go to amysews.com. It's $24.95 a month. You get your beautiful Dunroven towel, all the applique patterns and designs to make.
And it'd make a great gift.
Would make a great tea towels. Make a great gift.
A gift of subscription.
A gift of subscription, right? We
I'm
do
that way.
Right. With the Serger and the Scan and Cut, you can get a 3-box subscription. Go to Amy Sews. Send your family there if you want to jump in with us.
So it's a good gift to give yourself too.
I know. I hope they can hear me over yelling through this whole menagerie. Okay, so Jim wants to talk about stabilizers, which I will say, if you walk into our store on any given day and there's 5 of us here, you're probably going to get maybe 5 opinions, maybe 4, maybe 10 opinions, 4 opinions on what
stabilizer you use and how to, and anywhere you go or any classes you take, any website you go to, everybody's going to have their method to do it, and it's going to be the best.
Right. It's the only stabilizer, the only brand they use. Only brand. And so we're not quite that formal here.
Yeah, it's like whatever you like to use. And
right.
Try somebody's idea, and if it works for you, great, use it. If it doesn't, do something else.
Right. And what is the end goal? Like, most of these towels aren't going to be washed, right? They're just pretty things you hang up, or funny things you hang up. You give them as a gift. I like to wrap like cookies or bananas or something. Bananas, like banana bread. Not don't give you raw bananas. But baked goods, right? Instead of,
are we in your gift list?
I don't know. Maybe the zoo would appreciate the bananas.
Yes.
Hi, Franny. So anyhow, so the goal is how do I want my back to look?
Yeah.
Because if you use a tearaway, you're gonna have residual, but eventually the tearaway is gonna wash out at some point.
But you'll still get those little bits you got to pick out because you'll be picking them out.
Yes, you'll be picking them out. That is not good. So let me show you how clean the back of this towel is, right? So you can see how clean that is. Now, first of all, Lori's obsessive, so we know
that's why we love her.
That's why we love her. But let's see what this one is. Let's see if I was lazy. Yeah, this one I was lazy, and this is mine, so I'm just gonna call me out. But a lot of times I'm doing a sample for the store, which probably isn't the best example. I mean, I just like burn through it. So you can see all the crappy paper in there. I just use a tearaway. You don't really want to gift that.
Right. But in your own defense, in something like here in the store, you want it like that because they get a lot of abuse from people touching, holding, grabbing, whatever.
Yeah.
And you want it to hold up better.
I could pick all this out, but I just don't have the energy for stuff like that. Yeah. So, but it does, you know, if you use a nice crisp tearaway, and usually I go to OESD. That's, you know, there's other brands out there, but that's kind of my go-to. All right, Jim, what do you got going on?
Well,
you can
usually
show
like
your stabilizers.
For the backing, I usually go with like something washed out that's like a fiber, like a fabric type. And here, this is Fabri-Solvi by Sulky. So, and OESD has their version. All the other brands have
Everybody has it. It's fibrous wash away.
And it looks like interfacing if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, it really has like a real fine grid to it.
You can't tear it. You can only cut it or wash it.
Right.
out.
You can see how kind of it's, you know, it's not the same as no-show mesh. That's a whole different, that's a poly product. Right. This is a wash away. It's actually made out of seaweed.
Yeah.
Seaweed pulp. So, but it has a more fibrous texture. It's not filmy. And it really works well to support that. I like using that on like sweater knits and things that you really have to have it be away. Now, when you embroider a towel for a gift, right? How do you get rid of the back of that? Jim has his own thing.
Ooh, couple different ways. Because sometimes you don't want to wash it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to get rid of that crispness.
So quite often what I may do is I may just go take my steam iron and steam it and then just lift it right off.
Yeah, Agnes uses a wet paper towel on it, and then she just runs a warm iron over it, and it just kind of gets it right off of there.
It would be attracted to the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you want to keep it neat. And then for toppers, because like I asked you because Amy was working on a towel, and I said, you're going to put a topper on it, and because it's tightly woven, she said no, which is fine with it. Sometimes depending on the weave, I may put like a wash away on top. And the reason I like the wash away would be because it gives a little more depth to the stitches so that when this is gone, the stitches are a little more loftier. They're not sunk into the fabric.
Right. I use a topper on a t-shirt, on a sweatshirt, on a terry cloth towel, especially even if you're using a knockdown stitch, you have to have a topper.
So you want like that. And this way it'll wash out too, just like the Fabri-Solvi, and then there's no bulk and it's still soft. But then there's another one out there, and this one also is by Sulky. It's like Clear and Melt, and a lot of brands have something similar to it.
Heat away.
Yeah, so it's a clear plastic that you put on top of your towel, especially terry cloth.
Absolutely, it's a must for terry cloth.
You have to use this on terry cloth. And then you do your embroidery, and when you're done, the needle perforations perforate the outside edge, so you can just peel off the excess plastic, and whatever remains under the stitching is permanent. It'll still stay soft, but it'll keep the stitches from sinking into the fabric forever.
Right. And the loops poking out, like the terry loops poking out. You wash terry cloth towel and it kind of ruins the embroidery.
Yeah.
If it's not used a knockdown stitch or not something like that underneath of it.
And I like to use this also if I'm doing like a dark towel, like this blue one. And this is like like you said, almost like a canvas type of,
it's a really tight weave, cotton.
It's good cotton weave. And normally you wouldn't use a topper. I put a topper on it only because of color shading. Do you ever you go and put like a yellow thread on top of the blue and it has a greenish cast? Yeah. It's because it's picking up, it's reading the base fabric color and it's distorting your colors. Same thing if I put white on top, the white may look kind of like blue. This way you put the clear on top, it keeps the threads from being in direct contact with the fabric and there's no fabric shading to the thread. So the heat away is my go-to for terry cloth towels, which is kind of a wedding shower type gift. When you put your hot iron on this, you'll go into this, oh my gosh, having a stroke moment. Don't iron. When you do that. I do though. I put my iron right on it. You set it. But no, you're not, right. You're not ironing it. Right. So when we put the iron on it, what happens is it
immediately sticks to the base of your iron. And then it turned into these little beads, and you used to rub it on your ironing board, and then they just fall off. It makes little plastic beads, but it really gives you a clean embroidery without having to wash it or do any kind of weird prep. And I don't use any stabilizer in the back of terry cloth towels or velour towels. I only use the heat away on top, because terry is such a tight weave, but the loops aren't tight weave, but tight weave, you don't necessarily need it.
And you want to be careful pulling and tearing away, because you don't want to pull the
you don't want to pull the loops out, right? So the iron is the best thing to do.
And then after it's stuck in the bottom of the iron, just take your iron and wipe it across the ironing board cover. That'll clean up the bottom of your iron.
Right. And the only time I don't recommend this is if you're doing a lace design, something that's very open. You will never get your iron tip in there to clean it out.
And you will see it sparkling through.
Right. So when you're doing towels, like we're showing here, like the terry cloth, the Dunroven towels, right? So we like, just to recap, we like a crisp tear away if you're willing to sit and tear it all away, or a wash away film. Yeah. You could use the heat away too. There's really no harm in that, right? But they're tight woven, so they just need support in the hoop more than they need.
And these are like good quality towels, not like you get at the dollar store.
Right. If you get a sack of flour sack towels at Walmart, they need something. They need a permanent something. You really have to think about that.
And the ones you get like the dollar store, sometimes I think the needle perforations just tear apart the fabric.
Yeah.
So
be wise of how dense your design is versus how thin or thick your towel is. Yeah. If you do a really dense design, you may be in trouble on like a flour sack tile or something. All right, let's see. Check and see. Towels will be digitized. Yes. So I have one that's, I think if Ed didn't post the link already, he's going to post the link for the, Robin, try the heat away. My lordy. So
have
a heat away. Fran's watching from work again. Fran just got a new machine, so we're all excited for her. So this one is available. Ed will put the link up that you can down.
Yeah, and I think Vanessa's on there too.
Vanita.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the design that put it in there. So it says some people should use glue stick instead of chapstick. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of sarcastic. The chloroform thing was mine too. So I think that is so funny. But yeah, so it's anyway. So this will be available for download. Ed will put the link in. And if you didn't remember, I emailed it to him. But the tea towel of the month, those of you, I'll go into it closer to the first of the year, but anyhow, you can join anytime, but the embroidery won't start to the first of the year.
And Brent had a good question about if the towels shrink. If you're not familiar with that brand of towel you worked with before, I would say pre-wash it just to see and then take that to another one you haven't washed, and if you see it's smaller, then pre-wash them all.
We know this cotton's gonna
these
shrink.
are the high quality, and
we know there's gonna shrink.
There'll be some,
but I love the little tassels on the bottom, and it's centered, but I dropped it as far down the hoop as I can. This is a little bigger than 5x7. It's in DST because only 2 colors. You guys can manage that. But if you look at the back, what did you put on here, Jim? The fibrous wash away. Yeah. So, and it's hooped. That's my thumb in there. You can see how nice and firm it is in the hoop, right? Which we know is a big thing. We have customers come in a lot and say, look, there's something wrong with my machine. When it went to do the final outline, the black is over here, but my design is over here. The reason that happens is compensational pull is a technical term where those stitches, so left, right, left, right, left, right, are drawing that fabric in. So if your digitizer didn't give you good underlay, which are those wonky stitches that stitch all over the place before the design goes down, what happens is that pulls in and then the outline's where it's supposed to be. The rest of your design is wrong. Yeah. So make sure you're stabilized well and hooped well.
Can I share a tip?
Absolutely. That's why we're here.
Okay. Since you said about how your outlining doesn't match up, either it goes inside or outside, so you get that gap.
Right.
And again, like you said, that's the quality of the digitizer. They didn't have the proper underlayment. So if I have a design and I know no matter what I do, the outlines never match, the next time try this. When you go to sew it out, do the outline first.
Oh.
So what I'll do, I'm working on a white towel. So I'll put white sewing machine thread or white bobbin thread in my needle, and I'll sew the outline first. So it'll sew the fabric to the stabilizer. So now it's not going to move anymore. And then it'll go back to color 1. I'll put on in my embroidery thread and do everything. And then when it comes to the outline, I can use the regular thread I was using for the outline and embroider it out, and you'll find out the outlines will match.
That's like a super base. You have the base spot on your machine that holds the project to the stabilizer. Jim, that is stinking genius, especially if the design is super dense. Like you're not gonna have a problem from like Embroidery Garden, or people put a lot of thought into their designs. But when you go to these dollar Etsy sites that,
get what you pay for.
That right click and auto digitize something, Lord have mercy. And I think as a sewing machine dealer, that's hard on us because, we want to make sure your machine's fabulous. But when we ask the question, when you do a build-in design, is it fine? And you do this one, is it fine? And the answer is no. Then this is the problem. And it's so hard to say that nicely, right? But there's a lot of bad stuff out there, and it's, especially if it's bootlegged, like if it's Disney or something like that, people just do anything.
And since Margaret, thanks Margaret for the comment. One thing to make sure when you're doing that outline first, it's the color thread that matches your fabric that you're embroidering on. This way, if any of it does poke out, it'll blend in with your towel or whatever you're working on, and you won't see it.
And we happen to sell in the store here 100-weight thread.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And it's perfect for that. We mostly applicators love it because it just disappears. But when you are doing edge to edge quilting in the hoop, I love that 100-weight thread because you don't see thread. You just see the relief, the texture. And so don't be afraid to try different things. Oh, Miss Martha's in the house.
Hey, Martha.
Jim's the best. We know that, Martha. We know that, Martha.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Martha. That picture you posted the other day of Jim and you and Sue Halsman, it had to be 30 years ago.
We were 12.
It had to be 30 years ago. Yeah, Ed's going to post the link in a second, that design, if you guys want that design. And I'll try to find the chloroform one.
Yeah. I want to make that for my daughter. She's a cosmetologist. Can you imagine sitting in her chair, turning around, and you see that?
Right, here's a towel. Here's a towel for your face. Yeah. And it's like, woo. That's okay. I'm looking through the comments here. I think we're Vanita's online with her friend's computer. That's good. I know. I don't know.
Yeah, quality towels make a big difference.
It does make a big difference. And I'm not saying you have to go to Williams Sonoma to buy your towels. No. Most sewing machine dealers, quilt shops have the done woven.
Like Amy Blackman Sewing Quilt here in Harmony, Pennsylvania.
That's right. I don't think on the website, but call me. We got all kinds of colors.
Yeah.
No, I think just look at the weave, hold it up to the light. Is it real thin? Is it, is it nicely woven?
Yeah, if you could see through it.
And waffle towels. Can we talk about waffle towels?
Oh, yeah. You definitely want to use a topper then, right?
You have to use a topper with a waffle towel. I can't stand waffle towels personally, but that's just a thing with me.
Yeah, because it's kind of like
they always, especially if it's lettering, they always stitch out poorly. When we were in North Carolina, well, the last 2 days, at the Sheldon Winery, which the facilities are magnificent. The tasting room is gorgeous. The farmhouse we were in for our party was just gorgeous. I was in the gift shop looking around and I was dumbfounded. They had a lot of embroidered wine sayings for towels. And they were so horribly done. And they were on waffle towels.
Wow.
And they were $26.
Wow. And they're probably selling them too.
They were quite busy, but it's an affluent area, right? So let's give it that. So, it is what it is.
It looked almost like, Dollar Tree quality.
I mean, they were decent towels, but the lettering just broke up into the waffle, and I just thought it looked bad. But anyhow, so what else? I was supposed to talk about other things. Tomorrow is our Dime live event. You're going to get a free gift. You're going to make an embroidered lace bow, but they're doing gift giving. That's tomorrow. Everything is at amybachman.com on the webpage. I am playing with Stephanie from Caesar Vinyl, and I'm so excited about that. I haven't met her yet. She's adorable on the phone, and I watch her lives, and we're going to be doing some really stretching, like your t-shirt decorating, your different vinyls. She has a really great trick using all white thread and making it look like plaid. I'm so excited about that. We have that coming up. our easy gifts to make. Jim and I are going to be doing virtual for those who didn't make it in the store. And we have Dime, Stephanie, Easy Gifts,
And us.
And us. And then there's a crystal workshop in January you can sign up for. And I mean, I love my scan and cut, and that's what my life is rotated around, but it's an SVG file. So no matter what cutter you have, you can play along with us. And they're all at amybachman.com on the main page. And then the January cruise is sold out. The Scan and Cut Mastery cruise is sold out. There's 2 in May, one with designs by Juju and Becky Thompson. And the second one is Jim and I doing stabilizers. It's a stabilizer masterclass. So we will have machines on board, but we're going to do little stitch out samples on different embroideries, on different stabilizers. So you can see and take them home with you stapled with how you did it. So you can really take
like
that.
A good workbook
For that. And then in July, we have Reen from Embroidery Garden and Stephanie from Caesar. Woo! That's going to be fun. That's Alaska. So those ones are just now. If you go to sewandsale.com, the information is there. I have nothing to do other than the education. I don't book. I don't deal with price. I don't do any of that. So I'm just letting you know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. All right. So, okay. So I think this is the link. That's for the dime. That's for the dime.
No, that's the holiday gift giving. Right?
I know, but that's dime though.
Oh, inspired by okay.
Dime. Yeah. Carol, can I bring some of my scan and cut UFOs with me in January? Absolutely. When we're done with class, if you aren't a disco casino party girl, the classroom will be open and you can sit and hang out. Nancy, who works at the store, who is, I'm going to call her an expert with Canvas Workspace and some of the things that we do. So Nancy will be there to help too.
And Elaine wants to know when we're sending the link to the Easy Gifts.
So you're going to get it that day, that afternoon, because if I send it now, nobody will ever find it again.
Friday.
And so the Bonnie's question, any chance with Amanda? That's Amanda Bundles. Amanda Carnita. We built a great working relationship with her. In fact, the serger box for January is we are making a hoodie. So you're going to get fleece dyed to wrap.
It's not just fleece; it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and a pattern. And so the answer is yes. There was a cruise planned with her pre-COVID, and of course, COVID knocked us all into different directions. So we're working with her with that. So we're excited. So if you want to join the serger box for January, we have a special deal. You're going to get the months prior box, which is the serger pods, the scrap pods. So we're doing both of those. End of the morning. And I did not see the link for the free design. I emailed it to you. Hopefully he'll get it up here. Again, it's just in DST because I just did it myself. So anyway, so I think, is that it? I mean, we've talked about a lot of things. Embroidery, I just use regular bobbin thread, and this is the other thing. People say, oh, it's using too much bobbin thread. That's what it should look like. Yeah. You should see just a thin line of white going down the center of your lettering. Lettering is the #1 test we do back in service because it balances the left and right zigzag.
You want to see the bar of colors on the side with the center stripe.
Right, exactly.
Skunk look. Right, like a skunk. You never thought of that? Never thought of that. Carol had a really good question. Oh. You're going to do a serger cruise.
So the answer,
that would be with Anita.
The answer is yes. Bernina reached out to me about doing something. So that is out in left field. I've got 5 cruises this year alone. And I'm thinking about cutting back next year. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh no, that means you'll do more. Okay.
I know. No, that means I'll do less actually. So we'll see. Thanks Embroidery Garden for filling me in. It's in the comments. You have to scroll through the comments to find the design. And again, head over to Embroidery Garden and find a real design. not my lettering. Not my lettering. All right. I think, are we good? Right? Is everybody good? Anybody have any questions?
And there's your design link.
Oh, is that it? Look at that. Ed's on the ball. Just click on it. There's no hassle. Just download it. Oh, look who else is in the house. Mother girl. Joanne.
Hey, Joanne.
I know. If you hop over to social, if you want to put a link in, Joanne, for your blog.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful brother. She's more than a brother educator.
Yeah.
She's really
an
educator and lovely to work with and has great ideas in her. So it's Let's Go Sew with Joanne. So Banco. So make sure you follow her. Make sure you follow Embroidery Garden. Make sure you're following It's So Stephanie from Caesar. Make sure you're following Jim and I here. Make sure you're following us. And but I love collaborating with these amazing, talented people because as a community, we're much bigger.
Yeah.
Much bigger and much better with each other. So okay.
Oh, Joanne has it up there.
Good job, Joanne. There it is. Okay. So, because they're doing longer shows. I tell you what, I have a business coach and this mastermind group, and they go, "Oh, you need a blog. You guys are so," I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have to schedule one more thing." Jim and I work so well together, kind of organically. Like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's figure something out. And it just flows. So it's all good. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We are easy gifts will be a long one.
Yeah.
Right. But that's a paid one. That'll be a paid one. We're probably going to be doing bingo, live bingo. I did it last year, New Year's Eve. I don't know if I want to do that again. But anyhow, we'll pick a date. We do live bingo. We do door prizes and we send them to you, and it's a lot of fun. So I don't know what we're doing, but next week is busy. Go to amybachman.com. Check out all the live events. Stephanie's only $10. Dime is free. Easy Gifts is $20. The Crystal Workshop is only $10. We're trying to make them affordable for everybody. So perfect. All right, everybody. Woo! Let's see. Okay, we good.
Yes, ma'am, Joanne.
Everybody's. Oh, did Joanne?
Yeah, Joanne. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, she'll be on the show. That would be fun. We ought to do that. We ought to do that. That would be.
Well, thank you, Elaine.
I know. Make it Monday, so it'd be perfect. All right. So don't forget to sprinkle us out there in the universe. Tell your friends and family about everything.
And watch us every Make It Monday.
Every Make It Monday.
And you can always go back and play back and watch them get our even previous ones.
It's up for 30 days.
Yep.
So you got to hustle, but it's okay. All right, everybody. Have a terrific sewing day because the more you know.
The more you sew.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.